Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in. The Gladiator Gaming Teams tournament took place at Loganholme, Australia from the 5th to the 6th of August 2023. The tournament had 5 rounds with 80 players and 400 games played. Eric Lazarus won the tournament with their Genestealer cults. Luke Pearce and their Chaos Demons came second, with Jacob O'Donnell running Necrons in third. Big congratulations to all these players, and apologies for any poor pronunciation of their names. The winning Genestealer cult list takes many familiar HQ choices as the ones we've seen in previous tournament spotlights. We have the Icon Ward for the 5+ feel no pain for his unit, and a once per game ability to replace an ambush marker your opponent has gotten too close to. We see 2 Necros, who allow their unit to use a stratagem for 0 CP once per turn, followed by 3 of the popular Primus. They give their unit +1 to hit, and they can place 3 of your units in strategic reserves after both players have deployed. These are taken in every Genestealer list featured in our tournament spotlight so far. One Primus has the Inscrutable Cunning enhancement. It gives the units they lead infiltrators and the chance to regenerate a CP on a 4+ when you use a stratagem on the unit. I would imagine they led one of the 2 big 20-man squads of neophytes with the grenade launchers and seismic cannons. I would imagine an Necros joined the squad as well. That will allow a chance for a free CP generation, as the enhancement ability will trigger when you use the free stratagem given by the Necros. I would imagine one of the other Primus and the Necros joined the other 20-man squad. Finally, we have 2 Reductive Saboteurs. They have Lone Operative, Deep Strike, Stealth and Infiltrators, and can allow a unit to use the grenade stratagem for free once per turn. Once per battle, you can activate their mine when a unit moves within 12 inches of it, to deal D3 + 3 mortal wounds on a 2+. One of these takes the Meticulous Planner enhancement, to allow them to make one enemy stratagem cost an additional CP. This list goes heavy on the demolition charges. Now it is confirmed they can be used every time the unit returns from cult ambush. The list takes 3 squads of 10 acolytes with 4 demolition charges and 5 handflamers. The demo charges make D6 + 3 attacks at 6 inches with blast and the hazardous keyword. They hit on 5s at strength 12, AP -2 and flat 2 damage. A great profile for Space Marines. They are one shot, which states once per battle, but as stated, they get a new set every time they return from cult ambush. Due to their short range, they will be a good unit to transport in the 2 Goliath trucks, perhaps with the Icon Ward and one of the Primus in tow. The truck has fire in deck 12, so all of those demolition charges can be thrown out on the move. Combined with the hand flamers, it looks like a deadly combo at close range, with the 12-inch movement of the Goliath truck getting them there relatively quickly. We see a multitude of smaller acolyte and neophyte hybrid squads. The Genestealer cults really do go heavy on the battle line units. Finally, have an Achilles Ridge Runner with the Mortar. They can give the next Genestealer cult units to attack an enemy they've hit an extra AP -1 for the rest of the turn. They take the Survey Auger to give indoors cover as well, to make a unit vulnerable to your shooting. I would imagine those demolition charges are quite potent with these buffs stacked on top. The second place Chaos Team in the list takes a host of greater demons. Be'lakor is the Warlord, as he has to be if included. He has a 6-inch aura which always counts as within their Shadow of Chaos. He has a Primarch style choice of 3 abilities he can choose at the start of the battle round. One gives him a 6-inch aura which makes enemy units test Battle Shock when below starting strength if they are within it. He can also have a 6-inch aura of reroll Battleshock and Leadership tests for all demon units. His most interesting ability is Wreathed in Shadows. It is a 6-inch aura which makes all units within untargetable outside 18 inches. This includes Be'lakor himself. I don't know why you would ever use the other 2, as Wreathed in Shadows is simply the best choice in my opinion. He is tanky enough with toughness 10, a 4+ invul, and 18 wounds, and seeing as he moves 12 inches, he should be able to get in charge range before being destroyed. He has an anti-infantry Witchfire, and hits with the Blade of Shadows in combat. Predictably, it has a strike and sweep profile, with 6 attacks with lethal hits at strength 14, AP -4, and damage D6 +1 for the strike, and 14 attacks at strength 8, AP -3, and damage 1 for the sweep. We have a Bloodthirster with the same stat line as Be'lakor, with an extra point of toughness. He gives all Khorne demons within 6 inch a +1 to hit in melee. Seeing as he is the only Khorne unit, it will just be the Bloodthirster benefiting if he's hitting at -1. He takes the enhancement, Agrath the King of Blades. This gives his melee weapon +1 attack and strength, which goes to +2 in the Shadow of Chaos. His Great Axe of Khorne makes 7 attacks at strength 16, AP -4, and damage D6 +2 on the strike, and 10 attacks at strength 10, AP -2, and damage 2 on the sweep. If that wasn't enough, at the end of the fight phase, you can select one enemy unit, you roll 8d6, and for every 4+ they suffer a mortal wound. I am sure he claimed many skulls for the Skull Throne. The next of the greater demons is a Lord of Change, which is my personal favourite. You got all of the giant chickens. They take the Everstave enhancement, which adds 2 to the strength of their ranged weapons, and gives them an extra 3-inch range. In the Shadow of Chaos, this doubles. This combos nicely with their ability to give all Tzeentch demons within 6 inch an extra strength to their ranged weapons. I would imagine that the Flamers and other Tzeentch characters were in close proximity. They can also give their Bolt of Change, Ignore Cover, Lethal Hit or Sustained Hits D3 in the shooting phase. The Bolt of Change has 2 profiles, making 9 attacks at 18 inches and strength 9. The normal Witchfire is AP -1 and damage 1, with the focus version picking up Hazardous for an extra AP and D3 damage. They also make 6 attacks at 12 inches with the staff, at strength 8, AP -1 and D3 damage. With the strength increases, they can do well against armor, and the extra range will allow them to shoot the Bolt of Change while safely outside 18 inches if they are wreathed in Bellicor's shadows. Next we see another named demon, Shalaxi Hellbane. They move 14 inches with toughness 10, 20 wounds and a 4+ invul. They also have a 5+ feel no pain, making them pretty hard to take down. At the start of the fight phase, they can remove 1 attack from an enemy unit within engagement range. They also get to reroll charges as well as hits, wounds, and damage rolls against monsters, vehicles, or characters in melee. While they are flying towards melee, they have a devastating wound Witchfire, making D6 attacks at strength 9, AP -1 and D3 damage. The focused version gains Hazardous, sustained hits 3, and 1 extra AP. The star of the show is their melee with the precision Soul Piercer, making 6 attacks at strength 14, AP -3, and a big D6+2 damage. Seeing as they have full rerolls, including the damage against characters, there will not be many who are able to survive that onslaught. They also make 4 attacks with their claws at strength 6, AP -2 and 3 damage with devastating wounds. They really are a melee powerhouse. It is also why they are the most expensive of these demons at 400 points. They are still included in every Chaos Demon list we have looked at in 10th so far. Finally for the HQs we have some Blue Scribes, which makes enemy psychic attacks within 12 inch -1 to wound, as well as dishing out some mortal wounds to units within 6 inches at the end of the moon phase. We also see the very popular Changeling, who has some interesting abilities. He makes an enemy unit who attacks them take a battle shock test, which if they fail they cannot shoot at the model. At the start of the enemy shooting phase, they can select 1 enemy unit within 12 inches of them. They roll a d6, and on a 2 to 5 they are -1 to hit, and on a 6 they can't shoot at all. A powerful ability when it comes off. The list then borrows some anti-tank from Chaos Knights, with 3 War Dog Brigands with the Demon Breath Spears. They have a good OC of 8, and their spears make 2 attacks, hitting on 2s at strength 12, AP -4 and damage d6. They also have Melter 4 to deal some big damage within 12 inches. If it shoots at the closest unit, the AP is improved by -1 as well. The spears will melt through armor without an invul. The 3rd place Necrons list resembles the ones we've seen in the top 3 before. We see the popular Hexmark Destroyer with the Coronal, which will be very useful with all the units which don't have leaders for them. To further buff the units without leaders, we see a Catacomb Command Barge with the Weave to make a reasonably durable platform. They bring their Reanimation Orb, which allows any unit within 6 inch in your opponent's command phase to reanimate, a useful ability to have. As they have the Weave, we don't see a Transcendent Catan, which is the first for a top 3 Necrons list. At least they are doing something a little different. We do see the auto-include Overlord with Orb and Ablator, who will be leading the 10-man squad of Lichguard with the shields. I would imagine one of the Technomanters will also join them, to give them a 5+ feel no pain. I'm sure they will also join by some of the Cryptophiles, so they can tank mortal wounds with their 4+ feel no pain. The second squad of Lichguards will be set up in the exact same way, with the cheaper Lord providing the Reanimation Orb this time. We see the auto-include single Reanimator, with this list taking 2 small squads of Scarabs. We see the popular Locust Heavy Destroyers, but this time with the Exterminators. They do pump out some serious anti-infantry shooting, with 6 shots at 36 inches, and a massive rapid-fire 6 if they can get in half range. They have heavy and sustained hits 1, hitting on 3s at strength 6, AP -1 and 1 damage. It also rerolls wound rolls of 1 against infantry units. I'm sure they were quite efficient at killing Genestealer hybrids. We see 2 single Locust Heavy Destroyers, followed by 3 Annihilation Barges. Their twin Tesla Disruptors make 6 attacks, hitting on 3s at strength 8 and damage 2. They get sustained hits 2, and twin linked. I am sure they would have liked the buff from the Coronal. When you fire the Destructor, you roll 1d6 for the unit, and 1 for every other unit within 3 inches. On a 5+, they are struck by arching energies, and they take D3 mortal wounds after the barge is finished making its attacks. That could stack up to some serious mortal wounds if all 3 of them are firing into a load of grouped up enemy units. Rather surprisingly, the Necrons are the most played faction, with 13.75% of all players taking them. It is only an 80-player tournament, but the vast majority of the time Space Marines are the most played faction. They are in second with 12.5%, followed by Eldari in third on 11.25%. It takes our resident stats guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour, with the key at the bottom of the screen. The 3 unknown players topped the win rates with 86.7%. These players did not declare their faction and best coast pairings, so went in as unknown when we collected the data. 2 of the unknown players did rank in the top 10. I was able to check their lists. The 5th place player was playing Tyranids, and the 6th place player was playing Genestealer cults. They both went 5-0, accounting for the majority of the unknown wins. The 3rd most popular faction Eldari come next, with a win rate of 73.3%, followed by the Tyranids on 70%. One of the unknown players also ran Tyranids, so a good tournament for them. The tournament winner, the Genestealer cults, topped the green group with a win rate of 56%. Custodians get a win rate of 53.3%, followed by the tournament runner-up Chaos Daemons, who get 52%. Imperial Knights and World Eaters are the last factions in green, both getting a 50% win rate. All the factions in yellow get a flat 40%, with the most popular faction and tournament 3rd place finisher Necrons topping the red group with 30.9%. The 2nd most popular faction, Space Marines, are just behind, with a win rate of 30%. All of the Chaos Space Marine players are unknown, so we will look at the loyalists. The single Dark Angels and Space Wolves players get a win rate of 60%. The 2 Deathwatch players only manage a win rate of 10%, which is surprising given they have a win rate over 50% intent at the moment. Finally, the single Ultramarines player unfortunately loses all of their games. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.